All right, hi guys.
Welcome back to another episode of
Ready to
Right
Fit,
Season
season 2.
2.
Uh-huh. I love how we both just did that.
Because it's like our thing now. It has to
It
be
is
our thing
insane.
now.
It is.
So before we get started, Jonathan's working on music back here. He'll be back in a second, so just ignore him. He's not important
Please.
right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Never.
But I want to show you guys what I'm drinking today because we gotta wine, gotta have alcohol, otherwise it's not a Ray to Ray episode.
Right.
So, if you saw last week, we were talking about the cupcake wine that we wanted to try, or I wanted to try.
Mm-hmm.
Look what I got my beautiful hands on, everybody. It's cupcake rosé. Um, it's from Italy.
Mm-hmm.
It's prosecco rosé. I didn't know that.
Okay.
So interesting. That definitely makes a lot more sense because I tried it yesterday, and it's definitely more of a dry rosé. So that makes sense
Okay.
that it's a prosecco rosé because I was like, ooh,
Okay.
it's very winey, like dry, like it tastes like a wine rather than like juice. So pretty
Yeah.
delicious, pretty
Love
good.
that.
What are you drinking right now as I pour my wine into my cute?
We have another rosé in the house over here. Okay, so this rosé is really special because it is from the Malibu
Oh,
wine company. So you know how I recently went on the Malibu wine tour.
okay. The safari or the actual tour?
No, the actual tour,
Okay,
not the safari, a wine
okay.
tour, right? And so this was the rosé that they handed us all, and it's a Saddle Rock. So it's what they grew, what they made
Made
there,
there,
right?
yeah.
This is in the year 2017. And we had it on the tour, and it's so good. It's light, very very light, not too bubbly, which I don't really like bubbly wine.
Wines,
I love bubbly champagne, and I
right?
feel like bubbles should stay in the champagne
Yeah.
era, right? And then, so I really like that it's light and it's more dry too and not as bubbly. So it's really, really, really good.
So there you go, you guys. Mine is definitely a little bubbly. I wasn't expecting it to be bubbly, but again, because it's prosecco, it kind of makes a little more sense.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it's really good. It's definitely drier than normal rosés, and I think it all makes sense now that I read that it's prosecco rosé.
So
But definitely,
how would you rate? Because you're a rosé type of gal, are you
yeah,
not?
yeah, definitely. So we got, like I mentioned last time, Dark Horse is my favorite rosé. Like I feel like that one's just like perfect dryness, perfect like sweetness. Because I feel like rosés have like a hint of sweet to it, but it's not like overly sweet.
It's
Um,
like,
no, but yeah, so I think
um,
rosé is definite because I'm not a sweet person at all. Like I don't like very sweet drinks, like very sweet alcohol. The one thing I love sweet is coffee, but that's a different story. But yeah, so I think rosés, Dark Horse is like the perfect like in between. It's dry but sweet.
mhm,
This one's
mhm.
definitely like a bubbly dry. So I think it'd be a good close second if I want something a little more carbonated. But
Okay,
definitely
so
I
the goal is to get is something that will rank off your dark horse one.
yeah, pretty
That's
much.
the goal. To
But
get you
I
to.
was gonna tell you, I was gonna send you a picture the other day at work, and I forgot. Josh has a rosé. Josh Wines has a rosé.
Really? I've never seen
Yeah, I
it.
got it in stock last week, so
So you
maybe
have to
that'll
try
be
it.
my
You
next
have to try
week's
it. Yeah,
try.
you
Yeah,
have to. So then I have to look for it. I literally never see. I always see
the
Josh
red.
brand at Target.
Yeah.
Always the reds though.
Hmm.
I've never seen it in the rosé section because you know how like at the store they kind of section it
Yeah.
off by rosé, reds, Sauvignon blancs, whatever, whatever.
Right.
So I've never seen it in the rosé
Yeah.
section, but I really just don't spend a lot of time there anyways.
Well, the only reason I noticed it is because, like, with my work, what I do is all the reds I keep on a shelf, and then I'll put like the really, really light rosés in the fridge because reds you're not really supposed to drink cold
Mm-hmm,
technically.
mm-hmm.
So, but the
Technically.
rosés are more like kind of juicy in my opinion, so I put them
Mm-hmm.
cold because I like them cold. So I figured most people
I,
will.
That's my thing too. I love wine cold. Any wine.
Yeah,
I love cold. Even though, like you said, you're really not supposed to drink certain wines cold.
yeah.
I don't know why. I don't understand. I
I
mean, I
think it has to
understand.
do with the flavor
Well,
and how
that's
they
why I'm like,
age.
I get not drinking wine with ice. Okay,
Yeah,
like I get that. That will ruin the whole
right.
French way of it. But Why won't you have it cold? I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah,
I
I
don't get
couldn't
it.
drink it warm either, to be like, I don't know. But
Yeah.
so when I get my wine shipments, I like read all the bottles to see like what's going in my fridge and what's going on the shelves. And I saw like on my invoice that I had Josh, and like I opened it like by the shelf because I was like, oh, it's red wine, right? And I was like, it's pink. What?
You
So
have to get
yeah, I'll
it.
get
How
it
much
next
is
week.
it?
I don't know, but our regular Josh is like $15. I'm assuming maybe a little bit cheaper.
Yeah. I think
So
it'll be hopefully.
it's like
And
this. The cupcakes, like the regular cupcakes, are like $18. This was $10.99. That's the other good thing about rosés is
okay.
they're cheaper. I've noticed
They
they're
are cheaper.
cheaper.
But what's the alcohol
This one's
percentage?
only 11%. I was looking at it while you were talking about that one. This one's only 11, but I think it's because it's like pretty much half champagne.
Oh, okay. Ooh, that sounds good if it has a little champagne taste to it.
Grown in northern Italy, our Prosecco Rosé blends the citrus cues of Prosecco with notes of light berry and peach. So it's
Ooh,
pretty good.
very cool.
Doesn't beat my dark horse, but it's pretty damn good. But this one's a
I
lot
wonder,
lighter than the dark
dark,
horse. So this is like a
I,
pale pink, and the dark horse is definitely more
like
like a
more of this,
no, even
right?
darker. It's more like a berry pink.
Really?
Yeah, and that one's like 13% alcohol.
So is this one? I
Yeah,
was just like 13.5.
yeah, but yeah.
Excited.
So there's our
Okay.
little wine thing. Shout out to John on our last podcast. He commented that whiskey's the way. John is a groomer at Super Pets back in California where I used to work. So
Hi, John.
he was laughing about my Ballast story and everything, and he said, "You guys are hilarious. Whiskey's the way." And I told him, "I'm trying, but I just can't get into whiskey. So we might have to
Okay.
experiment."
Well, I definitely can't get into whiskey either, which is why I kind of made the face. However, I think whiskey could be a cute dog's name because you know how your names are
That
all
would be cute.
right, little whisk whisk.
Or
Yeah,
our next cat, I can name him like
or a
a type
cat.
of
I think a
whiskey
cat.
because I mean I have tequila
Yeah.
cats, so I feel like
Yep,
a
yep,
whiskey,
yep.
Yeah, that'd be cute.
That would be
Name my
cute.
next cat Jack Daniels,
Jack
or
Daniels.
Maker's Mark. I can name him Mark.
Marky
Anyways,
Mark.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. So before we get into today's topic, guys, let's talk a little makeup for a second. So
Okay.
I got a new foundation today and I love it. So on TikTok, everyone's talking about L'Oreal Infallible. Go try it because I have the worst skin ever and it works great on my skin. So if it works for me, it'll work for you. So go try it. Then end the
Okay,
video.
but what's your skin, not tone, what's your skin?
Type.
Yes, thank you for that.
So it's hard for me to like say like one thing because it's not dry. Like I don't get flaky skin and it's not really oily. So it's in between, but it's very acne prone and very sensitive. So I
Okay.
have to, so when I like look for foundations, I don't really look at like if it's for combo skin, dry skin, oily skin, because I really don't have, when I was younger, definitely oily, like all the way oily skin. I had to get everything mattifying, everything. But now I just kind of look at more like what's the word? Hypo or whatever, when it means it's like safe. It's like cosmetologist tested, whatever that word is. I can never say it. But
Okay.
so that's what I look for more is if it's gonna break me out or not. And then I just have a really good like mattifying powder for like where I'm oily, and then a really good primer so that I'm not in the places that I'm dry. So if I
Okay.
really, really had to say, I would say I'm combo more than dry or oily. But
Okay.
even then, I'm hardly ever dry and I'm hardly ever oily unless I'm like, working out with makeup on, which don't do, guys. But yeah.
Yeah, don't do, man. But so what kind of foundation is it? Is it for the combo skin type or is it more
It
what is it
says
geared?
it says all skin types, and I could definitely see how because like when you pump it out, it's very like liquidy and it's very buildable. So I
Okay.
could see how you can make it work for any skin type just because it is so liquidy and it dries pretty like smooth. Like it's not like drying or like um what's that other word? Like luminizing. Everyone's gonna come for me because this is such a trend. I hate luminizing or like dewy. I don't like my makeup looking dewy. I don't like it, especially not on my skin type. And let me tell you why. I feel like every time I have dewy makeup or I try dewy makeup, it just um what's the word?
Falls off.
Like no, brings attention to like all my like little acne scars and all my pores, like that kind of stuff. So me personally, I'd rather have a matte face and then just highlight where I want.
Okay.
glowy and dewy rather than my whole face being dewy and
Right.
glowy. So,
Right.
because like
I
I
had
don't.
a girl.
Oh, go ahead.
What?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say something else, so you
Oh,
go first.
uh, no, just 'cause, like I don't really break out anymore, but I'm working on like the little scars here and there. My skin's come a long way, so
Hmm.
working on it. So maybe
We
eventually
could
we'll
do
get
a,
to.
we could do a skincare
We
routine
should,
type of thing. We should because
yeah.
they're okay. Yeah, we're gonna put that in the
So
works. 'Cause-
let us know, guys. We'll do a skincare and like makeup routine type
Yeah,
podcast because I'm sure a
yeah.
lot of you would love that. And I've had my fair share of makeup fails, and yeah,
And skincare stuff too, like
yeah,
what works, what doesn't, stuff like that. Yeah, because I had a girl the other day comment, posted a picture, obviously with a very light filter. You know what I mean? Not something crazy, not the filters that give you like the lashes and the contoured nose and the contoured face or anything
is
like
this
that.
the
But just
selfie you
like
posted on Jonathan's comment about?
very, very subtle, right? Like
Yeah.
very like And a girl commented saying, "Oh my gosh, your skin is so flawless." And I'm like, "You don't think that's real, right? Like, come on, like that. You know that's the filter,
You
right?"
don't
Like,
have bad skin either, though.
yeah, I don't have bad skin, and I feel like my foundation is really good for my skin. I
That's
have
good.
very, very dry skin,
Okay.
so like I have my moisturizer right here. It is literally a liquid. It's literally like all liquid because I
Right.
need something that hydrates my skin. I've always had dry skin, dry spots like in between my nose crevices right
Mm-hmm.
here. Ever since I was like in middle school, and they never went away. Probably will never go away. So and I love the dewy look. I do. I
See,
love the
but
dewy.
that makes sense because you have the dry skin, so the dewy look hydrates you a little bit more.
And I really tried the whole matte foundation back in the day when it was like a hit. Everybody who was anybody was wearing matte because that was like a thing. And it would crack on my face. Like it
Right.
would just like it was so oh my
Yeah.
god.
Well,
So bad.
like I said, I've come to the conclusion that it's just about what products you layer on top of it rather than like one set thing. Like I have a mattifying primer. No, a
Okay.
hydrating primer. Sorry, hydrating primer. And then I'll
Okay.
do like a normal foundation and then I'll do like a hydrating setting spray because it's just like just enough dewy, but it's not my whole face,
Right, right.
And it's not like drying me out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Okay.
our little makeup round.
So
So
that will
definitely let us
come up.
know. Yeah, we'll do a whole makeup routine, like what we use for eyebrows, eyeliner, lashes, everything. Just because I think that'll be fun, and I love talking
And
about
it'll
makeup.
be
So
fun. And it'll be for our girl side of the audience.
yeah.
Yeah.
But Ray, go ahead and introduce what we're talking about today.
Yeah, so I thought it would be cool if we kind of just talk about how much we've grown as people, individuals, me and you, with people that have, I guess, kind of not done us wrong in the past. That's like so heavy and deep, but just like how we are able to overcome those things and maybe like some advice and some tips and tricks. I sound like such a guru already. Some tips and tricks on how to do that, like what our experiences have been and because I think like I have also heard just like around lately that like there's been a lot of people that have come back into my friends' lives in general and it's like you know, there's this idea out there like everybody just needs to be so strong. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. That was so embarrassing. I was napping earlier and I
Ray
forgot to
thought
turn.
that I was gonna take longer to get ready, so she set an alarm later because I
I'm
kept
so
pushing the
sorry.
time back on her today.
I kept pushing it. Well, I kept pushing my timer back too. Anyway, sorry. But just like in general, I think there's this idea out there that we need to be strong and we can't let people walk all over us, which is very, very true. I will stand by that. But I think there are some not examples, some exceptions to the rule, and I think there are some situations that it's good for you to release, let go, and allow and grow from it, right? And you don't always have to be so built like have this wall built up all of the time because that sometimes could do you more harm than good,
Yeah,
right?
100%. And going off of that, like, everyone's always like, leave toxic friendships, leave this behind, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day,
We've had an episode on that as well, so if you want to see that
back in
you can
season one, go check it out.
yeah.
But no, obviously if, where was I going with this? Oh, people grow, people change, people grow up, and if it's genuinely not going to be toxic for you anymore, then there's nothing wrong with trying to rekindle that relationship, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And I'm a firm believer that people change and people grow, people get new people in their lives that are better for them. They get rid of their toxic relationships, which are making them more toxic. And, it grows. And if it's a relationship that you're always thinking about, that's always in the back of your mind, and you left that relationship, friendship, whatever the instance is, because it was toxic for you at the time, but it's still in your mind, and then there's a reason it's still there. There's a reason you can't get over it. And if that person has grown and shown you, like, I'm a different person now, I've worked on myself, like, I'm ready to try this relationship, friendship again, what's the purpose of having hatred and everything when it's still there in the back of your mind? So there's a reason it's there. And if you
Right.
try it and it doesn't work and it's still toxic, then guess what? You leave again. But you tried it and you were mature about the situation.
And that's the thing. It is a lot of maturity. It can be a lot of maturity on your end to make those boundaries of like, if this is a toxic cycle,
Yeah.
that is another thing that you need to decide and make a decision on. Okay, this is a constant toxic cycle that is not doing me any good. Like, that is doing me more harm than good. And at that point, yes, leave and go listen to our other episode. But on the other hand, like you Ray was saying, like people do change, and you yourself should want to also change and evolve. You should never want to stay that same person that is hurt, heartbroken, bitter, and always having a guard up around other people, And this even goes for even welcoming new people in your life. Not just the old, not just like bringing back old people, but like being able to be open to new relationships, new friendships, all of those things, because you realize that not every person is the same. Not every person is going to hurt you or do you dirty as that X person is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, it's 2021 with everything going on in the world. Everyone's stressing about something, everyone dealing with something. You don't have room in your life to hold up these walls and these grudges and everything. So, if you have the opportunity to make something better, why not? There's no
Mm-hmm.
room for hatred in your heart. There's no room to be like, oh my god, this person did this to me, so now I have to keep up all these walls with every single person I meet. Because let's be real, you're not meeting very many friends and anything right now in 2021 with all these restrictions.
True.
So, take that one little piece of stress off of yourself because it's not an important stress. Like, it's something that you can avoid, something you can grow from, learn from, become a better you from,
Right.
you
And I'm
know?
not saying like we're not advertising to like if somebody hurts you or something's going on in your life to just like bounce back right away and you have to be this new person right away. You have
Right.
to evolve the next day. Like no, obviously take your time. If you do need that space, take it. Take as much time as you need. I just think being bitter throughout all of your time by yourself and all of your growth. And while you're taking that time, there's no need for you to have these walls built up towards new people, towards other people, towards people that are trying to help you and friends and stuff that are trying to support. And like, I've also not experienced myself, but I've heard that like somebody who's dealing with an individual that wants to come back into their life and be there, and they're talking to their friends about it, and their friends are like, no, 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 that's just, you're gonna keep doing this back and forth all the time. I don't support it, this and that. And I feel so bad because this individual was like, I don't even have anybody I can talk to about this because I do want to be open and I do want to give them a chance to grow and I do want to help them grow. And I can't even talk to anybody about it because all of my friends don't support or nobody, because they have been through that heartbreak with me. They have been there when the situation happened in my life and they don't want me to go back or they don't want me to have that relationship with them anymore. And I genuinely think that they can change and whatever. And I just felt so heartbroken for them to not have a support system.
Right.
I mean, like, oh my gosh, how dare her friends, to to have that idea of like, oh my gosh, are you doing this again? Oh my gosh, you're gonna be so weak. You're gonna show your weak side. Like, what?
And I think that's a perfect point to like bring up, that if you are the friend on the other side of that, be there for like your friends, whether you agree with it or not. Like, be their support system. You know, you don't have to be negative about it. Obviously, share your concerns with your friend and be like, hey, I know what's happened in the past, so just be a little bit careful. But I applaud you for trying, and like that shows, showing your weakness and vulnerability is a strength, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So, because it takes a very strong person to be vulnerable, and a very strong person to be
Yes.
okay with people seeing your vulnerable side. You don't have
Mm-hmm.
to be Superwoman, Superman 1,000% of the time. It's not healthy to be that strong all the time. And being able to be vulnerable shows that. Like, it's okay, you know? And there's people out there who will not let anyone see their weakness. And then what happens when it does happen? Then it's this big traumatic experience, like, oh my God, I wasn't strong. And it just causes more issues. So, if you're the friend that has a friend that's trying to work on this relationship, be supportive and be like, I'm here. If it fails again, I'm here to help you. No, I told you so's. No, you
Please
know?
say that again, please. No, I told you so. Because, man, like, and we're all just trying our best
Yeah.
to be here in this life, to have relationships with people, to nourish those relationships, to be the best version of ourselves. We are really all just trying the best we can. So please, if you are not my parents, if you are not my grandparents, I don't want to hear I told you so from you. Sorry.
Yeah. Like, there's no point. What does that do except make that person feel like they failed when they were trying to do something good? And that's not going to help their self esteem. It's not going to help their future relationships. Who knows? What if you and that person get in a fight and they're just going to have that same mentality that you just told them to have? And then you ruined your guys' friendship. Because friends have fights, whether it's
Yeah.
dramatic or not, whether it ends a friendship or not. What if you were that person, or you told that person, oh, why would you go back after that mistake? And then you make a mistake not as big but similar, then they're not going to give you that chance either, because you're the one that put it in their mind. Oh, you can't
Mm-hmm.
give second chances. You can't give third chances, you know? And I don't
Right.
think that there should be a set number of chances someone gets. Like this whole three strikes and you're out. Like, you know, and
That's
like
baseball.
that's baseball. And again, like, I
Right.
want to stress, like, we're not saying if you know it's toxic for you and you know
Right.
you're just gonna get hurt, we're not advocating go out there and try. But this is
Yes.
for those instances where you think, yes, this person's changed. I've grown. I know how to deal with the situation better. You know, for those very deep, like, I know we can work, this relationship, friendship, whatever it may be, work. If you know that it's going to be toxic and the cycle's just going to repeat, don't even try. Like,
Yeah.
go off your heart, go use your brain, think about in this instance, think about yourself first and how it's going to affect you. And if
Right.
it's better for you to stay away, or if you genuinely think it's going to be better for you to try.
I agree.
Like, if you know it's toxic, don't put yourself back into it, because then you're just going to start the cycle again. You're going to be depressed again. You're going to go through that whole cycle, and that's not healthy either.
That's not healthy either. And I know, like, I don't want to sound like we're contradicting because our message is like right now, yes, please, like if you feel like you
Follow your
like
heart, what you
follow your heart,
genuinely think.
and don't be afraid to give people second chances. That's like I think that's our message.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. Like put yourself out there. A lot of beautiful things can happen when you put yourself out there and you genuinely feel like this could be a great thing. Like I genuinely think a lot of beautiful things can happen. But at the same time, not trying to contradict. But it's also like, okay, if they are, I mean, make a list of things that they have constantly been doing. If you see it being a habit, if you see, like, okay, this is because sometimes you have such a big heart, you have such a big, like, want to be there for somebody or want them to change. You want them to change so badly that you are seeing them change without them really changing. You know what I mean? Like, you're not able to see. Love is Blind. That is more than just a Netflix special, okay? That is real. I genuinely think. And so
It's more than just a Netflix. You're so cheesy. I'm
that
sorry.
is a Netflix. You know that's a Netflix show, right?
Yes, but that was just so cheesy to throw in there.
I just thought
Guys,
I
you
would
know
throw
Ray's
that
the
in there.
cheesy one.
So Great, right now I freaking forgot what I was saying.
Sorry.
No, but I guess being toxic, right? Like, if you can't see past that, I really genuinely think putting things down on paper and seeing it visually, like if this person is constantly doing the same thing, if they're constantly being this way towards me and they haven't changed after so many times, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm a big advocate for, communication. And again, if you genuinely think this is gonna work and you made that list like Ray said, and this person is at the same place as you where they're willing to work on this relationship, friendship, again, whatever it is, talk to them. Be like, I don't think this friendship, relate, whatever, worked out the first time because you kept doing this, this, and this. What was I doing that affected you to act like
Mhm.
this? Or
Mhm.
what did I do that made you not want to be part of this friendship relationship anymore? And lay it
Yeah.
all on the table. And that way you can work on you, they can work on them. Because if you think about it, if we're human, we're all going to blame the other person for whatever reason the friendship, But there is something you did that caused them to act that way.
Right.
And if they can't genuinely tell you something, then maybe it just wasn't. Like maybe they just are that type of person and they're willing to change. And, there you go. But you guys will figure out the problem so you can move past the problem.
Yeah. And sometimes too, I think we can kind of end on this of like, sometimes you just need to love somebody from afar. Like, get that concept into your head because that can really be a healthy, beneficial thing for the both of you.
Right.
You know, like if you genuinely care about this relationship of yours and the person, but they are just not mature enough and not ready to be in your life, and that's a decision that you made for your mental health and for your better sanity, okay, then just love them from afar, you
Yeah.
know, pray for them, and if anything, know that if they need anything, you will be there. If it comes down and out, you will be there. But you could love them from afar. You can always be thinking about them and want the best for them and hope that they're doing good. But if it's not healthy for them to be in your life at this time in space, okay, I'm gonna let you go. I am always gonna be here for you no matter what. And that is okay. But right now, like we can't be in each other's lives.
Yeah.
It's not the best for both of us. I'm going to step back for a little bit, take care of myself. Hopefully you take care of yourself, and I'm gonna love you from afar.
Yeah, 100%. And on the same like flip side of that, I want to stress someone hurts you, don't wish ill on them. Like, I don't know if this is just my spiritual side or what, but karma's a thing, guys. And if you're out there wishing ill on people and they did me dirty, so I'm going to do them dirty, you're just going to always have that cycle in your life. And I feel like it's going to attract the same type of people back into your life. And you're just
Yes.
going to be doing the same cycle with different people. So, just be like, all right, we didn't work out in whatever relationship form we had. I wish you the best. Go live your life. I'll go live my life. You do what you got to do. I hope you're happy, loved, everything you need to be. And I wish that you would wish the same on me. And there you go. Just, there's, like I said before, there's no room for hate in your life. There's no room for guilt and all these different things. And why take the energy and the mind capacity, I guess, to go and wish ill on these people? Like, there's no point. And it's just going to attract people back into your life that you don't need there.
I 100% agree. I think you having this negative energy and aura around you will only attract other negative energies and auras all around you. Like, it can only do that. There is no way your negative spirit can attract like, I don't think that works in the universe. I don't think that works personally. So yeah, you will only attract all of these negative things. And if you have hatred in your heart, and I'm not talking like, and look, I know this is easier said than done. Somebody does you are wrong, and you are pissed. And you have every right to be. You do have every right to be. You have every right to be hurt and pissed. But you have to take that time to then isolate and reflect. Be on your, because if you go around right away and just taking it out on everybody and hating the world will hate you back.
100%. And like, I'm not saying that you can't hate somebody, but don't wish ill on them, Like,
Mhm.
there's people, I mean, I don't think I hate anybody, but there's people at a time in my life where I was like, oh my God, I hate you. I want nothing to do with you. But I've
Me
never
too.
said, like, oh my God, I hope you go and die. Or, oh my God, I hope this happens to you. Or like bad things that happen to me, like, oh, I hope you go through the same pain. Like, that doesn't do anything for you, it doesn't do anything for them. So, what's the
Mm-mm.
point? Like, you don't get any satisfaction out of it if it were to happen to them. Just like, at the very end of the day, if you said something like that and it happened to them, wouldn't you feel guilty? And now you have another emotion to deal with.
And if you don't feel guilty, you're a serial killer,
And you
and
have
we
some
don't want
problems,
watching.
and you need to go to some therapy. Hit Ray up in a couple of months, couple of years. But yeah,
Yeah, please. I agree with that too, but I just think it is easier said than done, like I was saying. And if you do, have this moment of weakness where you say something dumb like that, or because we all have our moments of
yeah,
weakness,
a hundred
and
percent.
like I am so sure I've said some so stupid things in my past. I mean, I know I've said a lot of stupid things in my past about um people and all this stuff, but there is a time where you can tell if it genuinely comes from the heart or not, And like Ray said earlier, and I want to stress this so much, like this is your life. So you want everything that you do, every manifestation that you have in your head to reflect only positive things on yourself. That's all you should want in your life and you should constantly just be thinking, okay, how is this going to better me? What is this bringing to my life? And like Ray said, it won't bring you anything. It won't bring any good, any satisfaction to your life to wish ill on somebody else. It really, really won't. Take it from someone who knows it just won't.
Yeah, and going off of that, like, we're talking positivity, positivity. How can I make this positive? You're human. You're not going to be able to think positive 100% of the time. There's times where I'm at work, I'm like, oh my God, I hate my life. Like, this is horrible, blah, 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 right? But then you go home and you see your dogs or you see something happen and you're like, oh, okay, I was at work all day today because now I get to go and spoil my puppies. Or I get to go home and spoil my kids, So there's always something that counteracts that negative, and you might not think of it in the moment, but just know that there's always something positive that comes out of every single negative. And that's just how you have to think of it. And some days are all negative. But guess what? Who knows? Maybe not tomorrow, but the next day it might be a whole positive day. Sound
Yeah,
like a
but
freaking spiritual. Those
well,
people that are all into astrology and everything. I honestly wish I could get into that because I feel like that has
I
some
mean, I
reason.
just think it's all a balance, this whole life is about balance, balancing the good, balancing the bad. Um, yeah, if you are having such a negative day, such a negative week, such a negative month, I mean, hell, we had such a negative year last year, and it's not really over, But like for it to become a positive or for something good to come out of this, you have to believe that in your soul
And be open to it.
and be open to it because it's your decision to see the good. There is so much good out there, but it's your decision to see it. Because you can see something that is so great and only see the bad or only see the negative effects of it. But there is good everywhere. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And if you are one of those like very negative people, just look up ways to think positive. There's so many people out there now that are all like, do this for your mind, do that for your mind, meditate, read a book.
Mental health is such a thing right now. And
Oh, yeah.
thank God for that because oh my God, we didn't even talk about. We should have talked about this, but the Britney Spears documentary. Have you heard?
I
Had
haven't finished it yet, but I'm
I
halfway
it's
through it and then I fell asleep.
it's so good. What I thought about the whole time was like, if mental health was as big as it is now and talked about and open about, like she would have not had to have gone through what she did in the public like that. Like the public would have not been able
To do what they
to
did.
to treat her the way they did because us as a society would have been like, she
No,
needs help, leave her alone.
right.
But back in the day, it was all
And you know
about,
what's scary? Back in the day wasn't even that long ago.
I know,
And that's
I
what's
know,
scary. Like, mental health is an actual thing, and to think that
it's
so
always
many
been.
people didn't think it at, like, within the last 20 years. how much has come out of mental health, like research,
Mhm,
and how
mhm.
much people have had to suffer and hurt for the society to see that it was a thing and that people do have mental health problems. And mental health problems isn't just schizophrenia and all these like big,
Yeah.
scary names and
If you
diseases.
don't believe mental health is a thing, please watch the Britney Spears
Or just
documentary.
please leave my podcast because
Okay, that too, but also watch that because you see a young girl who was so sweet, genuinely a good. Oh my gosh, I just saw her in such a different light. Like she was such a genuinely good person. Never did any wrong, you know.
she
Then
just
you
needed a
see
little bit of help.
well, you see what the media did to
Yeah.
her. She was born crazy. It's not like she was born depressed or anything like that. But you see what the media does to her, and it's like, how could you not become who she is today, having gone through all of that torture? Like, the media really just made her this punching bag on live TV, and she was thrown to the sharks. Didn't have any prep. Didn't have any. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And if you watch it, her crying on interviews, the way she reacted to certain questions, the way she tried
I
to
mean,
politely get away from paparazzi, like she
yeah.
was doing all the steps to be a good person and be polite and have manners and do all this stuff, but everybody has a breaking point and the media pushed her to that point.
To that point, poor freaking thing. And
Yeah.
then when they pushed her to that point, like I'm saying, people didn't
Then she
even
was
realize.
crazy.
People didn't even realize. Oh my gosh, she needs help. No, the narrative was like she's crazy. Look, everybody's like, I told you so. You should have stopped listening to her when she got all sexual and done. And it's like, oh
And
my
first of
god.
all, hold on. This is like this is related because you know mental health and helping yourself. We're gonna go on a little rant here.
Okay.
When people are like, "Oh, she's so sexual," this and that, I don't think people understand the way that industry works. She doesn't have 100% say in what she's putting out there.
First of
She's
all,
a
mhm.
young girl trying to make a living, singing and doing what she loves. And I've heard not just from her, you know, situation, because again, I haven't finished watching it, but I got to like, I'm like 10 minutes out, so I'm pretty much done with it. But I've heard from other like celebrities and singers. Take the Kesha instance. They have no say in what they do, and they do what they're told with the hope and the prayer that at some point they'll get to a level that they can make their own decisions and do what they want to do on their labels.
Mhm.
So to
Mhm.
say that and throw her under the bus for that, that's not how that industry works, unfortunately. Is it okay? No, not at all. But that's
No,
how
but
it is.
that's the industry's fault for you.
Yeah.
Those are the men up at the top that want to see this young 14-year-old girl doing these things.
And then
But
she's making money at the end of the day of it. So she's like, okay, cool. I'm going to be this amazing pop star. I'm going to open my own label. I'm going to do what I want, but I need to suffer through this little area for now to get where I want to be. And again,
isn't
it's
that
not
such a shame?
okay, but it's
No, it's not.
like you can't
But it
fault her
wasn't
for
her.
that
It
either.
wasn't her fault.
Exactly.
And oh my god, I just
Yeah.
watching it really made me cry. And then there was a part of the interview. I don't want to give any spoilers out for people that didn't see it, but there was a part where she was getting interviewed, and I think Deborah or I don't know, one of the famous interviewers was literally like, "Oh, so some congressman's wife said that
Oh,
she wants to kill you,
have
basically."
you dead?
Yeah, like, what do you think about that? What? Why are you asking me this? Why aren't you asking her? Do you know how
Well,
old
yeah.
you're threatening a like 17-year-old girl and you are a 40-something-year-old woman?
Who can't
What?
turn off a radio or turn off the TV if it's not what you want to see?
Oh my god.
Or you're a freaking congresswoman's wife. If you have a problem with this, go do something in the industry to change
Yeah,
that.
yeah, don't victimize or not victimize, don't threaten.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was such a
And
good
that's
documentary. I
why
highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Go watch.
it's on Hulu, right? It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
But yeah, it's just that's a whole nother topic we can talk about is how different industries are still very male based and all of this, blah blah blah. I mean, I can say luckily we're evolving from that a little bit in certain industries, thank God. Like, you know, me and Ray were able to go get freaking college degrees, which wouldn't have been
Mhm.
able to happen less than 50 years ago. So,
Right.
you know, there is a lot of movement what the heck, improvement and stuff like that. But there's still so many issues, so much social justice things that can happen. And I'm glad mental health is on the top of the list and
Me too.
it's happening. And, everything's looking a little brighter in that area. And it's more not just bipolar, schizophrenia, autism, like those big things. Because, dude,
There's more.
yeah. And you don't even have to be clinically diagnosed to be going through something mental health. Like, and it's a lot more easy or available. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Readily available to go and get help, even with the minor situations.
Yes.
Go hit up Ray. That's going to be her occupation.
I was gonna say, I am such an advocate for therapy. I just think life is so hard in general, and not everybody is equipped to deal with what they're given. And it could be from the littlest things to the biggest things. But I think everybody needs somebody that helps them along this journey. I mean, therapy is not a place that you go to get answers. And I think that's like the biggest misconception is like, I need answers to all my life's problems. And it's not like that. Therapy is supposed to help you, guide you, be there for you, be a genuine guide throughout this journey of life,
And I want to like throw out there too that therapy doesn't have to be with a counselor. It doesn't have to be someone with a degree. It doesn't have to be someone that's gone through all this training, blah blah blah. Like,
although prefer,
go hit Ray up. If you're not going to Ray, then just go. No, I'm just kidding. No, but like, and we've gone over this before. That's Ray's major. That's what she's doing her master's in. And I have a minor in psychology. So we might be a little more educated than the normal person on these types of situations. But I also understand, like, for me, I might not be comfortable going to an actual therapist like right now because I don't have any, like, I don't feel like I need to go to a therapist because I have Ray, I have Zim, I have Jonathan, I have my mom, and I have my support system who I can vent to and like say all these problems. If I have a problem with Ray, I can go vent to Zim. If I have a problem with him, I can go vent to Ray. Like, you know what I mean? But if you don't have that support system, then I'm the first person to say, just go find a therapist to just talk to. You don't need, sometimes that's all you need is just somebody to talk to and vent to. Like, and again, like Ray said, they're not going to give you life's answers because they don't know life's answers.
Yeah.
But they can give you tips and tricks on how to improve and work on you and like steps to make you feel better.
Yes. And like Ray said, it is just a matter of having someone you genuinely feel like cares for you. And I think if you are going to the right therapist, like, we do care. Like, that is why we're in this field. We genuinely care for people and we want to help. And we, like, that's why we suffered all these years of school for you guys, for our community, for the people that we love. And so sometimes it is just a matter of finding someone who genuinely cares for you and wants to help you. And that is us.
Yeah. So I just want to throw out there because, if everyone's argument is, why am I going to pay all this money to just go talk to someone? Think of it as an investment in bettering your life. If, I like to think of it as like for me, oh my God, I love shoes. I'm going to go spend $200 on this pair of shoes because it makes me feel better. Why would you not spend $200 to make your insides feel better, to go and vent and to let everything out? And
like we were saying earlier, it's not like you have to go to therapy for the littlest thing. You have a great support system and you can build that first. If you feel like all you need is your support system, perfect, great, that is all you need. But if you are finding that is just not doing you justice, then yeah, go and seek help. And I promise you, it will be worth it. I promise you. Talk to anybody who has come out of therapy on the other side. They will vouch for me.
Yeah, and going off of that, if you start like now, like you have these issues, you don't have the support system to talk, and your sessions start tomorrow at $120 a session, and then you get the tips you need, guess what? You only needed 5 sessions versus you let all this stuff bottle up and you need to go through years and years and years of therapy to get you better. So that's the way I see it. It's an investment in you.
Yes, and they literally teach us that in school of like, our job is to be able to make our clients not want to come to us anymore. Right. That is our goal, is to make them not need us anymore. So we are not trying to sit there and make you waste all of this money. We are trying to get you out of our office, believe it or not.
Yeah. don't think Ray wants to have a new story to deal with every week? No, I'm just kidding.
Right, you're boring. Get out. I'm just kidding.
I've heard your same dilemma 50 times already. Come on. What do we need to do to get you moved? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, guys, mental health, toxic people,
It's a
giving people
thing.
second chances, Britney Spears.
Britney Spears.
It's a crazy world that we're living in, and help yourself, like, before anything else. If you need to go reach out to that person because you think it's going to make you feel better, do it. I
Mhm.
think right now, it's the times that we're living in with corona and being quarantined and not being able to go do the things that all of us love to do. You
I,
need to think about you and what's going to make you feel better and what's going to help you, what's your support system's going to be. You don't have to
mhm.
do life alone. Nobody should be doing life alone when there's so many resources and advocates and support systems that you can seek. So,
Yeah,
go
I
do
like
it.
that.
Do what you gotta do. Hit us up if you need help. Again, we're educated in mental health a little bit, Ray more than me.
No,
But
really, reach out to us. Honestly,
yeah,
if you want, you could reach out anonymously if you want,
yeah.
and I love hearing stories and being there for people and giving unsolicited advice. That's like
Yeah.
my favorite thing in the world.
100%.
So,
And then guess what? You can go to Ray for the mental side and then come to me for the physical side. We're the perfect little duo.
oh my God, I never even realized that that's so true.
So,
That is so true. You want to get your mental health fit or do you want to get your physical fit?
and let's talk about how physical stuff can help your mental stuff. So,
Yeah, it really can. It really, really can.
yeah, so go get the tips and trips there, and then we'll make it physical and give you stuff to do, and you'll be set to
Yeah.
go. Dude, we should open our own practice.
We should. Physical and mental. Well, that'll be a behind the
Stability.
conversation.
But yeah, guys, so I hope you guys took something out of this episode. You
Me
know,
too.
people grow, people change. Worry about yourself, your mental health. Do what you gotta do. Find your support system. Reach out if we need to be your support system.
Yes.
And yeah, I think this was a really good episode and really important. Let us know if you guys want to hear about that makeup and skincare because that could be another
Yes.
mental health thing that helps you out. So,
Yes. Doing your makeup is very therapeutic.
oh yeah, if
Very,
you
very therapeutic.
feel lazy and you feel like you need some motivation to get going, guys, brush your hair, put on some mascara, and you'll be surprised what it does.
Yes, when you look good on the outside, you feel good on the inside. That's what I have to say.
100%. And just you need to look good for yourself. So if that means just brushing your teeth because you haven't in a week because you're not leaving the house, there you go.
Brush your teeth every
Please.
day, you guys. Twice a
I'm
day.
just
Thank you.
saying, some people change out of the
Well,
sweatpants and put on some leggings or some jeans, even if you're just
right,
gonna be in the
right,
house.
right.
Like,
Some
you know,
leggings. I mean, jeans are a little. Oh my goodness, I haven't worn jeans.
same. Yeah,
No,
same.
yeah, I feel
But
you.
those
Yeah.
tiny little things will
Right.
help a lot. So again, we hope you guys took something from this episode. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, subscribe on YouTube. All of our links are down below. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.